Okay, segment 3 here. We're going to talk about how to fit the 5/6 in. Sorry about the pattern was, I had left it warped over because we had developed a little C-shaped fretboard there, where you just warp the 3 and the 7 strings over together. Because once you warp one string over and you go back to P4S tuning, you move both strings. Okay? So, and then, that's how we make each individual fretboard. So, we got the cage word. We have C, A, G, E, and D. And we can make all 5 cage fretboards, if you will, with this diagram. So we would have the C shape, the A shape, the G shape, and this is key of G now. These are keys. The E shape, the key of E, and the key of D. I guess in the key of E, the second would be on the bottom. That'd be kind of like playing something like this. You hear that kind of dissonance, as opposed to, that dissonance. Billy Joel used to use that a lot, where he'd be doing Root Beer Rag, where it goes, So, it doesn't matter if you hit that bottom string or not. Whatever you do in music, if you did it and it doesn't sound completely wrong, just go with it. So we can make the 5 shapes here easily. Okay, now let's unthicken up the drawing tool for a minute and get a different color. Let's do green, I don't know. So we can do the C shape here, but we have to move the 3 and the 7 over one. Okay, we can do the A shape, which is from 5 to 5. 5 to 5, that sounds like a long shift. Then we have the G shape, 6 to 6. Then we have the E shape. The E shape starts on 7. Even though it starts on root in pentatonic. So the E shape, here's your E, but I'm going to take the capo off. Here's the E shape. Okay, and it actually would be like second inversion. This is what it is. Okay, but the E shape actually starts on its 7th. So it'd be like E goes to C shape, goes to G shape, goes to D shape, then D goes to what? A shape, but we have to warp it up. Then from A shape we go back to E shape. Okay, I just did that in E. Don't tell me what I did, because I'll mess it up from the hindsight isn't always 20/20. All right, so you heard it here. So there you go. You can make any of the 5 cage shapes as long as you warp the top string over. For each one, the top 2 strings over 1 fret because of the tuning third. Now let's talk about shape fitting. Okay, and this is the important part, the 5/6. How do you remember where the 5/6 goes? I had problems with that in pentatonic. So let's look at what we call, what I used to call the S3S. This is the S3S. In pentatonic scales, which is root 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay, here's root, and then we look at the little S2L here. Okay, we're not worrying about the 4 and the 7 anymore in pentatonic. We're not worrying about that. Okay? So we look at these two shapes here. These are the two shapes that we use to build pentatonic scales. Alright? The S2L pretty much has its same shape, but the S3L, which is a stack of 3 long, it's 5 frets long, right? As opposed to, this is a little S3S here, stack of 3 short. So this is that little ditty that you play when you're doing the D shape, or it's actually up one string on the G shape. And that's the first thing that I really got into, you know. And so look where the 5/6 is now. It's one of the gang here. The 5/6 isn't any different than what's above and below it like that. So that's like aliasing there. But you know, it's a little riff you can play like that. So that's where the 5/6 goes, where you have a pentatonic scale. 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2. Now remember, that could be anywhere. That could be anywhere, any key. So let's say in the key of A. Okay, the bottom string is E in the key of A. That would be a 5, because E is the 5th of A. So it would be 5, 6, root 2. Now we can't play the 2, 3 because it's like on an imaginary string that's lower than string number 1 down here. So no string, no play. We just get the top 2 part of that S3S when we're playing the A pentatonic. Okay, now you can't do this if you have your fret nut here, but alright. So it doesn't matter what key it is, you just play from the second degree of what key that is. So key of A, there's the second, 2, 3, 5, 2, let's see, 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2, 3, 5, 6. That's a pentatonic scale, incidentally in the E shape. Actually, it'd be in the D shape, starting from 2, you know, in the key of A. So shape fitting, now we're going to remove the drawing highlights. Shape fitting involves placing, it's usually where is this going to go? Where's the 7 root 2 going to go? Not where do I put the 5/6, but it can be the 5/6. So the first thing I did was I just learned the S3L pattern, and I got used to that. Anywhere I see, if I can identify that S3L pattern, 2, 3, 4, in this case it's D, E, F, in the key of C. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2. Anywhere I could identify that S3L pattern, I would. So you can start it on any D. Alright, so that's another way to do it. You just do it by sound. If you're just practicing, just do it by sound and make sure you got the right pattern. If you go into the tuning warp, that's shape fitting, and you have to do it like that. So let's find a D that's going to go into the top 3 strings. So here's the D. Wait a minute. No, I have to warp that up. You see how right here the D goes to the red G right there. You can see it's diagonally off there. So it's where were we? It's diagonally up 1 fret, and then return to the normal.